Welcome back to Lyme Disease Daily Diaries. This is long form videos and I am Lativa. All of my channels, you can find me on all social platforms, Beating Lyme with Lativa. This is my daily check-in. I do daily shorts and I'm trying to keep up with like 8 to 10 minute daily long form videos. At first I was gonna make this all about current moment. I am preparing the Dr. Filonov way for a if you're just seeing this, please go back to the playlist that says Lyme Disease Daily Diaries and watch it from the beginning. It'll make sense. And sorry to people who this might sound repetitive to, but you have to realize I've got brand new people checking in each day. So just to give you a little context, at first I was going to make these long form videos about a daily check-in preparation. So basically, not too long ago, last year, 2025, God made a way for me, and that's a story for another time, but I promised God that if God did it for me, I would tell everyone. So, and God made a way where there was no way. And you can't tell me God is not real. It was like a Moses Red Sea moment in my life. And basically through this book, I was laying in bed crying my eyes out, my world, my life collapsing in on me with no help, no support, no family, no one to call. And I was just crying my eyes out to God. And I was like, God, like, please send me the doctor that can cure me. Not like maintain my symptoms, but cure me from Lyme disease, long COVID, massive mold exposure. I had like 15 to 18 medical conditions and counting. And this is not just like me throwing it out there. This was like what we could actually see on the testing. And it took years before I even knew what I was dealing with. Doctors could see certain things, but most of my tests were normal. But my body was in like full systemic collapse at one point. And doctors are looking at me, even gaslighting me. Like, oh, you're young, you're pretty, you're fine. Just go home, it's anxiety, kid. And basically I was laying in bed as my life is collapsing in on me. And I prayed to God to send me the doctor that could cure me. And as I sat up with tears in my eyes, I literally had just prayed this, and I searched something that I had searched a million times and nothing really came of it. And something kept instinctually, like intuitively leading me to fasting. Like something, it just kept ringing in my spirit. And I looked up fasting for Lyme disease. And this woman, in her book, Michelle B. Slatter, this book is called Starving to Heal in Siberia. It's called My Radical Recovery from Late Stage Lyme Disease and How It Could Help Others. I kid you not. I prayed that, crying my eyes out, still had tears in my eyes, and I YouTubed like fasting for Lyme. And this woman, Michelle, talking about her book, talking about her journey popped up. I wasted no time. I was like, it perked up my spirits. I was in such a low place, and I immediately went to Amazon. I immediately ordered the book. It arrived and I read it in I read the whole book within like a few days. And I kid you not, this book made me laugh. It made me cry. It brought so much validation to my own journey because I had been told I was crazy. I was psychotic. I needed help. Yeah, I was fucking sick. Yeah, I needed help. Yeah, and no one could help me. I had to basically become my own doctor, my own advocate. Yeah, something was wrong with me. I was dealing with an invisible disease that was full-blown affecting, I had like multi-organ dysfunction, but yet you'd look at me and I look fine. You're not laying on a hospital bed. You're not hooked up to ventilators. You're fine. Nothing's wrong with you. Although I was having heart issues, kidney, liver issues, diabetic episodes. I had so many gut issues at one point. You get the point, right? I was so chronically ill, and I felt like no one understood, no one could help, no one knew what to do with me. So her book was so validating for me. She even talks about assisted end stage life. I'll put it like that because I don't know how particular all the platforms are. You catch my drift, right? She was ready to end it all because of the suffering from this. You know, it completely ruins any quality life. I mean, I don't know, but I lost my ability to work, to smile, to laugh, and the thing is, people don't realize this affects your brain. I hate to, you know, play into this whole nervous system thing, but it really does. I mean, you have infections in your brain, your body, and I wasn't just dealing with one, I was dealing with like multiple. Imagine dealing with one cold. When you're under the weather, you got a snotty, runny nose, you got a sore throat, you feel like shit. That's one virus in your body making you feel like that. Imagine now 18 of them motherfuckers all at once attacking your body. Different viruses, different infections, different bacterias, you know, and it affects everyone very differently. Anyways, I read this whole thing in a few days once it arrived from Amazon, and I walked around my house. I kid you not. I was holding this book in the air. I was trying to demonstrate. I was holding it in the air, and I'm like, God, if this was you that answered my prayers, because mind you, I had just prayed this. I had just found this woman, and you have to understand, for years I was bedridden, pretty much. All I did was obsessively research, trying to get help, trying to find the answers, trying to find the cure, trying to find what was going to heal me. So I kid you, I mean, I spent 8, 9, 10, 15 hours a day sometimes for many years trying to find the answers. So when I tell you, I had already searched this before and this woman had not come up, and I had just prayed this, God answered my prayers. And I told God, I said, okay, after I finished reading it, I said, God, if this was you that answered my prayers, you must make a way for me to go work with this doctor that this woman worked with to cure her Lyme disease, which is a Russian doctor all the way in Europe. I was in Las Vegas, Nevada at this time. I'd lost my ability to work. I was about to be evicted from my place. I had to shut down my business that had finally started taking off for the first time, and I couldn't sustain because of my health. I lost my car. I was going through a breakup. This man lied, backstabbed, cheated, like betrayed me to the worst degree while leaving me for other women, and told everyone that I did everything to him that he just did to me while I was battling serious medical conditions and I had nobody else to depend or lean on. I mean, like, this wasn't just a normal breakup. This was like the most hurtful, devastating shit while I'm already going through the hardest fucking season of my life alone with medical conditions. You have to understand, my whole life was collapsing in on me. I was about to lose my storage. My phone was about to be shut off. I didn't know how I was about to feed myself, my dog, and I had no one to turn to. And the way God made a way is, it's gonna have to be in a different video. The story, the point I'm making, God made a way. The doctor that Michelle worked with in this book is right here, Dr. Filonov. And Dr. Filonov is a Russian doctor who specializes in he's a dry fast expert. And he's been treating, dare I say, you know, CURING, you catch my drift, people successfully for almost 40 years of pretty much every illness up under the sun. And not so long ago, last year, I went for my first time. God made a way, showed me the doctor, made a way for me, reconnected me and a friend I never thought I'd speak to again. She helped get me back to Dallas. She literally helped me go get my treatment. Like, talk about God's grace and favor. And I told God that if He made a way, I would dedicate, I'm gonna cry, that I would dedicate the rest of my life to helping other people end their unnecessary suffering because of something that has been dealt with so much negligence, ignorance, lack of care, lack of compassion from the medical field to families to support systems that did not exist during my journey. And I feel that I found a way to simplify what all the experts and specialists have overcomplicated, and why antibiotics don't fucking work, why the medical literature is old and outdated and is wrong, why the approach is wrong, why the treatments are wrong, why antibiotics are wrong, why everything about what we've known in the world about Lyme disease is fucking wrong, and I'm here to challenge it. And where doctors and experts and specialists should be giving clear, simple solutions, they're bringing more fear, more fear mongering, more confusion, more frustration instead of solutions. And I feel that I literally heard God speak to me and tell me, you're going to use the power of your mind and faith to heal your body. You have to understand, my life was in ruins and collapsing at that time. I'm like, what do you mean? I was like yelling at God, like, what do you, but I heard it so loud and clear. And then when God made a way for me to go to Europe, lined everything up for me. This is how good God is. And if God did it for me, God is no respecter of persons. God can and will do it for you. I went overseas. I left Vegas. I got back to Dallas. And then from Dallas, I went to Europe in October last year of 2025. I had to prepare for this dry fast. I did not have everything to fully prepare at that time. And I went off to Europe to personally work with Dr. Filonov and his entire amazing team. Now, unfortunately for me, in my case, when I got there, I had to break my fast early. So I had to break my fast day 6. I was having too much liver intoxication, felt like shit. And they literally, there's only 2 reasons they recommend you break this fast. And it's because of what I was experiencing. So no big deal, broke it safely. However, for most people, it's not a one and done, and don't attempt this on your own. Please don't. Please stay tuned to get all the information, because you have to understand, a lot of people, before they go see this doctor, they are preparing their body for these long medical dry fasts, 7 days, 9 days, 11-day dry fast for 2 to 6 months before they go personally work with Dr. Filonov, if they're going in person. So you have to understand there's a lot of particular preparation into this, and also how you break the fast and with what you're breaking it with is very particular. But what I can tell you is, even with that, I have had so much recovery from just that one fast, and I didn't even get to go the full amount. Good news for me, I am younger than most people there. I was pretty much the youngest one there. I don't believe that this all had been in my body as long as some people, you know, so I think that's my advantage, was I'm younger. I think I'm going to be able to, you know, kick this a lot faster. It hasn't been sitting in my system for 20, 30 years plus, you know, so things like that. Now that I am back home and I have had more means to actually buy everything that I was supposed to when I first prepared to do these long medical dry fasts, I'm basically redoing it all over again, this time by myself. And thankfully I've went through it personally, because I now know what to expect, how to administer this on myself. And now I am just fully preparing the Dr. Filonov way of his full-blown preparation. And I'm doing it to the T. Everything in the preparation protocol as Dr. Filonov's preparation protocol calls for. And then what I'm going to do is then go into some of these longer dry fasts here at home, which means no food, no water. You're not allowed to come in contact with water. I'm not even allowed to brush my teeth, wash my hands, shower. It sounds crazy to some people. Let me tell you, this worked more than anything that I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on. You know, and you have to understand, at a cellular level, drugs are not the answer. You need to fix your mitochondria. Your immune system needs to come back online. Your body needs to detox all of this dead, you know, infection shit in your body. And what better way than at an intercellular level? All these doctors, specialists, like, how do we get inside the cell? What drug can we give them to get inside the cells? The fuck you mean? I don't know. Maybe the way God designed the body to heal itself through fasting. Do you know what fasting does? Puts you in a serious state of autophagy. What is autophagy? It means literally self-eating, self-cleaning, cleans the cells at an intercellular level. That is why there's so much misinformation about Lyme disease, what it is, and how to actually heal it. Because you got to get inside the cells, and there's not a drug that does that. Now, look, all I know is that this has brought a level of normalcy back than I've ever had with any other treatments and thousands of dollars spent. and I am keeping people along the journey. So I am full blown in preparation right now for the next 30 days. And then once I actually start the dry fast, again, I'm bringing you guys along for that journey. I'm listening to my body. I'm not trying to push it. My hopes are that this time I can go a full 7 days. And then from there, I'm gonna listen to my body. I'm gonna safely exit. I'm gonna refeed for probably 2 to 3 weeks, see how I'm feeling, and then I'm gonna go into another long dry fast. And at that point, I'm gonna just chill, see how my body's feeling, and within 2 months after those 2 dry fasts back to back, I'm gonna listen to my body, and then I'm potentially within 2 months gonna do hopefully a 7, 9 to 11 day dry fast. Because you think of it like a house. Each time you're cleaning more and more stuff out of the body. And that's why it's not normally a one and done. So don't think you're going to do one fast. And especially in America, the way they do fasting, juice fast is not a fast. Bone broth fast is not a fast. Juicing, these trendy fat, that's not going to heal the body. Okay? So it's just infuriating to watch some people like, oh, well, I did intermittent fasting for a few days and it didn't work. Baby doll. That is not the same thing, okay? Yeah, of course it didn't. That's not what we're talking. We're talking a serious medical therapeutic dry fasting so that your body is starved of food, of water, the pathogens, microbes in your body to literally disintegrate disease out of the body, you know? So, but this comes with, I am not doing this on my own. I've done this with an expert, and I now know I've prepared for it. I've gone through it, and now I'm preparing for it all over again. I know what to expect, how to do it. But I would recommend anyone. Dr. Filonov is your guy, you know? I don't recommend ever doing this on your own without preparation. Because even for me, even during the preparation, they have you do a few small fasts. And let me tell you, I was shitting my guts out. I was throwing up. I thought something was wrong because your body has to get used to this type of fasting. And now that I've kind of moved past that and my body's been able to get a lot of stuff out, and even in between, I've had a few more fasts in between that fasting. And each time you're just getting more and more stuff out of your system. So please, just a caution to people, yes, this works, but please don't do this on your own. If you're going to do it, please reach out. I'm not sponsored. I am not affiliated. I just am sharing what worked for me because I know the suffering, and I'm trying to help be the answer to other people's prayers. That Dr. Filonov offers virtual appointments. He is not, don't think that he is out of reach. And you know, I just am trying to keep people along for my journey, my testimony. And so I am currently, you know, in this whole 30-day preparation, the Dr. Filonov way for longer dry fasting. And I'm really excited to get through the preparation process so that way come the day of the dry fast, I can really take you guys along the journey. I'm just going to do little daily check-ins, let you know what I'm feeling, what I'm experiencing. And also this is going to be paired with a lot of prayer, a lot of the fasting, but a lot of meditation, which another book I love. I'm a book nerd, you guys. Dr. Joe Dispenza. It's called You Are the Placebo. This book, these two books are like my best friends during this journey right now. Because it's literally all about, you know, if you know Dr. Joe Dispenza, he has an incredible testimony, and you literally just using the power of his mind and backed by science, backed by research of how powerful the mind alone is. And when I'm going into these fasts, I'm going into also meditation and prayer, because I heard God tell me you're going to use the power of your mind and faith to heal your body. And I always knew that when my symptoms began, even though all the experts, doctors said, don't know what to tell you, you're stuck like this, take our drugs, you're going to have to just suffer and live with it the rest of your life. That was the diagnosis I was getting. And I said, I had my moments of breakdown, crying, I'm human, and then I said, fuck you and fuck that. I'm not accepting that. And I know that I don't see a future where I'm stuck sick. I don't see an identity where I am this ill person. I don't see a future where I am limited. I don't see a future where I'm stuck like this. Not fucking happening. So I took matters into my own hands, and I don't regret it. I don't regret it. And now I'm excited to be the answer to other people's prayers, because if I did it, that means you can do it. I'm not special. And when you go deeper into my journey and testimony, understand how bad it was for me. I thought it was like some rare case because of how severe it got for me. I mean, I had doctors and practitioners, functional medicine doctors at one point dropping me because when they tried detoxing me, I got so much worse. They didn't want a liability. And I'm talking life-threatening type detox symptoms where they're like, nope, we can't, what would you say was wrong with you again? And then I have to hand them all of my medical stuff again because they didn't fucking do their job right the first time, but they didn't want a liability on their hands. So at that point, I was like, how do we simplify this? Like, there's got to be a more simple way. And yes, it can be that simple. And when you see me, you think, oh, it couldn't have been that bad. I was having heart issues, kidney issues, liver issues, brain and nervous system issues. I was having diabetic type episodes. I had hepatitis. I had mycoplasma. I had long COVID. I had parasitic infections. I go on and on and on and on and on. In my little 100-pound body. And I was previously perfectly happy, healthy, never one underlying health condition. So, I mean, it completely ruined my life. Completely ruined my life. And God made a way, and I made a promise. And I said, God, help me keep my promise. Because my promise was that you make a way for me to completely beat this, completely cure it, and simplify it. Because what I'm seeing in the Lyme communities, the Lyme literature, the medical Lyme literature, it's old, it's outdated, and it's fucking bullshit. The testing's bullshit, the approach is bullshit, the treatments are bullshit. All of it's bullshit. And it's cookie cutter. So it's like the blind leading the blind. And I'm just like, okay, well, what if my name literally means leader. Maybe it's my time to fucking lead this shit. Because everyone, there's shiny badges. I'm sorry, I don't mean to talk ill of doctors. Even if they mean well, they're brainwashed by a closed system in a box, not thinking outside of it. And I'm like, okay, I'm the big genius with the big idea outside the box. And the light bulb above my head. What if there is a more simple way? What if I forge a new path? What if I become a pioneer for this and show and prove that there is another way and we can simplify this and actually bring solutions instead of just more frustration and deeper, wormholes that are just unnecessary? Because most of the videos I'd watch from these specialists and experts, it would just bring me more anxiety, more confusion, more fear, and never actually offered me comfort, support, compassion, understanding, or a clear, simple solution. So what if I forge my own path and see, well, and then God's telling me you're going to use the power of your mind and faith to heal your body. God answered my prayers to show me the doctor who absolutely could and did cure me. And I, as much as I give Dr. Filonov a lot of credit, I also believe in God. God made a way. God told me and use the power of my mind and faith, which is also meditation, a lot of the Joe Dispenza way. So for me, these were tools collectively. So I can't, the dry fast, a big part of it, but also mindset, mentality, faith, and believing the body was designed to heal itself when given the right environment. And I always knew that when my symptoms started, although doctors and specialists told me I'd be stuck like this for life, there is no cure, I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to take our drugs. Yeah, I had my moments, I cried it out, I was scared, and then I said, fuck that, no, I'm not accepting that. Let me clarify and simplify this shit since you guys have all overcomplicated it. So that is what my channels are dedicated to. Beating Lyme with Lativa. And please don't take this like I'm bashing doctors or specialists. Like there's good doctors who mean well, but I didn't have a good experience with conventional medicine doctors, really doctors in general. Like it was almost like the whole time each practitioner I worked with, it's like I had to be the leader, like I had to be the boss, like I had to tell them how to do things because it was just making sense in my head and it wasn't making sense in theirs. So I'm like, okay, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but I know my body and no one's listening. I had to become my own advocate, forge my own path, find a more clear, simple way that actually works, and now bring it back to show and prove to people that, hey, maybe we got this all wrong. You're talking to my boy wrong. It's the wrong tone. You know, hey, you looking at me? Yeah, baby, I'll lead the pack. That's right. Beating Lyme with Lativa. Stay tuned.